Adding and subtracting integers. Learning intentions. Add and subtract integers, positive and negative. Read and use the plus and minus signs correctly. Simplify a string of integers to one number. Adding and subtracting integers. If the temperature is 2 degrees Celsius and drops 6 degrees Celsius, then it is minus 4 degrees Celsius. That is 2 minus 6 is equal to minus 4. So 2 minus 6 is equal to minus 4. When combining negative and positive numbers such as 2 minus 6, it can be very helpful to use the number line. To find 2 minus 6 on the number line, start at 0, move 2 places to the right, and then move 6 places to the left. You finish at minus 4. So we start at 0, we move 2 places to the right, and then we move back by 6 places to the left, and we end up at minus 4. So 2 minus 6 is minus 4. To find the value of minus 1 minus 4, start at 0, move 1 place to the left, and then move 4 places to the left. The result is minus 5, shown below. So we start at 0, to minus 1, we move 1 place to the left, and then to minus 4, we move 4 more places to the left, and we get to minus 5. Rules for adding integers. When there are too many numbers, it may be no longer convenient to use a number line to add integers. Take these numbers: 4 minus 6 plus 8 minus 3. Write the positive numbers first, so 4 plus 8, and then minus 6 minus 3. Now combine the positive numbers and negative numbers separately. So 4 plus 8 is 12, and minus 6 minus 3 is minus 9, and 12 minus 9 is 3. The rules for adding integers. When the signs are the same, add the numbers and retain or keep the sign. When the signs are different, subtract the numbers, start with the numerically bigger number, and keep the sign of the numerically bigger number. So for example, if the signs here are the same, so positive 4 plus 8 gives us 12. So we add them and we keep the sign. 4 minus 8, so these are different signs. So we have a positive 4 and a minus 8. So they're different signs, so we're going to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number, and we keep the sign of the bigger number. So we end up with minus 4. Likewise, if we have minus 4 plus 8, so the signs here are different, so we're going to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number, and then we keep the sign of the bigger number, so we end up with positive 4. And if we have minus 4 minus 8, these signs are the same, so the rule is we add them and we keep the sign, so we get minus 12. Adding or subtracting integers rules. Same signs, add them and keep the signs. For example, minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5, because 2 plus 3 is 5, and we keep the minus. Different signs, subtract and keep the bigger sign. So for example, if we have minus 5 plus 3, we're going to subtract, so take 3 from 5, and we keep the sign of the bigger number, which is a minus. So we end up at minus 2. So this is a summary of the adding and subtracting integer rules. Same signs, add them and keep the signs. Different signs, subtract and keep the bigger sign. Example 1. Express each of these as a single integer. Part 1. Minus 4 minus 8. So here we have the same sign, so we're going to add them and we're going to keep the sign. So 4 plus 8 is 12, and we keep the sign, which is a minus. Same signs, add them and keep the sign. So 4 plus 8 is 12, and we keep the sign, which is a minus. Part 2, minus 7 plus 2. So here we have different signs. So the rule is we subtract and we keep the sign of the bigger number. So 7 take away 2 is 5, and we keep the sign of the bigger number. 7 is bigger than 2, so we keep the minus. So we get minus 5. So different signs, subtract and keep the bigger sign. Part 3, we have minus 2 plus 5 minus 13 plus 6. So taking the first two parts, minus 2 plus 5. So they are different signs. So we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So 5 take away 2 is 3. And since 5 is the bigger number, we keep it positive. So we just get 3. There's no need to write a plus in front of it though, because we know that 3 on its own is positive 3. Then we bring down the minus 13 and the plus 6. Then we go again. 3 minus 13. So again, we have different signs. So we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So 13 is bigger than 3 numerically. So we're going to have a minus in our answer. And we're going to subtract 3 from 13 and we're left with 10. So we get minus 10. So 3 minus 13 is minus 10. Then we bring down the plus 6. And we have minus 10 plus 6, which again, we have different signs. So we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. So numerically 10 is bigger than 6. So we're going to subtract 6 from 10 and we're going to have a minus in our answer. So we get minus 4. So our final answer is minus 4.